Ray, obviously, you know, you probably don't know this, but it's the first time Purdue's beaten 3 consecutive ranked opponents since 1979. I think Coach Painter was 9 years old. Can you just put in perspective what this string of basketball you guys have been playing means to you and to this team?
I think we've been playing well. But obviously beating 3 top 25 teams in a week's span or whatever, it's really good for us in our university. But I mean, we can get better in a lot of areas. So I mean, that's encouraging for us, being able to get these wins, but also knowing we can get better before Saturday and going up to Minnesota. Our young guys came around. I think AJ's put us up at the top of bigs in the country. So I think this team is coming full force right now.
Right, just surviving those last couple of minutes. Obviously, the foul shooting kind of let them back in it. But how are you able to survive those last couple of minutes playing the lead?
I mean, if I would have had the turnover when I tried to force the ball to AJ, I don't think we would have been in that situation. But we just grew up. I mean, we came out to the stretch. Coach told us to be strong with the ball. Told each other to be strong with the ball and do that fouling. So I mean, we just grew up as a team in the last 2 minutes.
Dakota, it seemed like maybe you had a little bit of extra energy tonight going against your home state. Was that true?
Oh yeah, you know, playing against home state, it's very exciting. I actually grew up being an Ohio State fan, so yeah, them coming in here, I was a little more excited than usual.
For, I guess anybody, maybe AJ, you can start. This is a team, Ohio State came in averaging 80 points a game. How did you guys slow them down, stop them?
Say what?
Ohio State came in averaging 80 points a game. How did you guys slow them down and stop them?
Pretty much just stopping Russell, just making sure he's just like, if he's going to score 20, he got to get 20 to 20 shots. Just pretty much contain the dribble. And then rebounding, we kind of did I wouldn't say too bad of a job in the first half, but second half we just had to come step it up and just play harder. So that's what we did. Like Ray said, we just had to step it up in the last 2 minutes.
AJ, you in particular seem to have stepped up your game in the last couple of weeks, especially. Can you talk about that? What's been the impetus for that?
It's just pretty much those losses between Minnesota and Maryland. I mean, not Minnesota and Maryland, I'm sorry, Wisconsin and Maryland. They just got to me, and the coach just stayed in my ear, but I just got to come out and do what my team needed to do. So that's what I've been doing.
Ray, during that stretch where you guys went on a 9-0 run and kind of separated there late, AJ had, I think, 4 rebounds on 4 straight possessions. Just how did that sort of spark what you guys did there?
I mean, seeing a big fella going down there and fighting in the trenches with those guys, they're grabbing them, holding them all game. So just seeing him keep fighting and keep working and going up high for those rebounds. It was going out of his area, jumping for him and getting them. And he told us he had it, and he showed us he had it. So that was huge for us, just seeing him do those rebounds like that.
There was that stretch, Ray, where they didn't score for, I think, 5 minutes, and that's where you guys kind of separated yourself a little bit. It seemed like there was a little bit more spirit defensively. You guys have played well defensively throughout games, but it seemed like that stretch you were really, really on top of them.
I just think we settled in. I mean, we knew it was that time to make a run, just like at the beginning of the second half at Northwestern. I mean, like, we got together, we knew it was that time. If we didn't make a run then, and like down defensively then, I think they probably would have tried to separate themselves and try to make a run for us. So, I mean, we locked in. Coach Gary had an unbelievable scouting report. We knew it was coming, so it was a good team effort.
Dakota, how did it feel to make some shots tonight?
I felt really good. It's been a while since I've done that, a couple weeks, but you know, I give a lot of credit to my teammates. You know, Vince found me a couple times, and they were big shots, and luckily they went down. Hopefully I can carry this momentum, and you know, we're playing really well right now, and we got to get a big win on Saturday.
Can I go one more? Right, just specifically with defending Russell, I mean, AJ talked about it a little bit. Pretty good team defense, do you think, on him?
Yeah, I mean, we switched a lot of things, and everybody got a crack at him, but I mean, I think AJ did a really good job in ball screen defense. I mean, he's a really good player. I mean, he's one of the best guards in the country, obviously, so being able to get him to take so many shots to get his points tonight was huge for us. I mean, we wanted to get him to take as many shots as he could so he can get his points or whatever. So it was a good team effort on him. We had a good scouting report again, like I said.
AJ, you've been blocking a ton of shots, but there's also been no foul trouble at all. Just picking your spots better, or is it a matter of matchups, or?
Nah, I'm surprised as you are. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. I just been trying to get in a better position. Really, coach has been working on them, and I just been trying to tell Isaac the same thing. Like, he hasn't been fouling as much. We've just been working on that in practice and really just getting better position. So that goes into it. Just Coach Brimley just helping us out.
Ray's the team you still only 3 of 12 from 3, but the ones that Dakota hit, maybe especially that second one, how big were those?
I mean, I think that's a shot of the game. It seems like every time I come here now, I got a different player handling the game ball too. So I think I'm gonna hand that one to Dakota. I don't think without that shot, I mean, we wouldn't have separated and stuff like that. I think we seen him make a shot. I mean, we know how he's been these last couple of weeks, just feeling down on himself. Making that shot was huge for him, but it also was huge for us. I obviously think it was a shot of the game, so I'm proud of him, man, for being able to step up and take that shot, and it was a big one.
You were 8 years old the last time Purdue beat 3 consecutive ranked opponents. Of course, the schedule has to be sequenced in the right way for that to happen, but just the significance of not just this win, but improvement that you've made since Illinois to achieve something Purdue hasn't done in like 36 years.
Well, it was a big game for us, and it's coming off a big road win against Northwestern for us, and so it's tough to play there. And they've had our number. I don't know if it was 6 or 7 games that they beat us in a row. So just being able to hang in there and and compete, I thought we were very, very fortunate to win the game. They had us out of sorts. Their defensive pressure really bothered us, and we weren't able to get the ball inside like we wanted to. And it's a good learning, game for us to be able to struggle like that and still be able to grind it out and get a victory. But it's tough. It's tough to get wins in the Big Ten, and like I said, we're very, very fortunate. And it's a ranked team, and we just got to keep getting better. We got to, hang our hat on our improvement. And defensively, we've made some strides, but we got to be a better offensive team than we were tonight.
What fueled that run there late in the second half?
Well, I think anytime we can get in transition a little bit and make some perimeter shots, once again, we're not making a lot of threes, and we're going to have to knock down some threes to open some things up. And until we do, it's not going to open some things up. But just getting some stops, getting some loose balls, long rebounds to get in transition, and then knocking down a couple shots really helped us. We executed a couple times on plays, and we're able to get the back cut at the end, which is a huge play for us, a huge score when AJ made the pass to Rapheal.
Russell had 20 points, but it came on 18 shots.
Right.
Just how vital was the defense on him?
Well, he's a really good player. He's where he's at as a freshman is where Evan Turner's at as a junior. And he has one of his lesser games, and he has 27 and 5. That's pretty good. He's the best guy we've seen so far on the perimeter, and it's not even close. I thought our guys did a great job against him, and think about the numbers that he had. A couple of those, especially the one, the step back at the end, he just missed it. He got away from our guy. He makes that 50% of the time. That's his rhythm. And I went 5-way switching and took our big boy out. But I knew he was going to get where he wanted to get. And so I've never fouled like that before, ever. And really, it's just out of respect for him and his skill package. He's the real deal.
Coach, of these 4 wins you all have had, they each come in a different way each time, but the latest one tonight, these were problem games, let's be honest, you may have let slip away early in the season. What's going right that these guys can be in these pressure situations
Right.
and still make the necessary plays?
Yeah, well, you have to understand, if we make our free throws, I don't have to get into that scenario. So our guys made their free throws the whole game, and then 4 different guys missed 1 free throw in the last 3 to 4 minutes for us. And if we can make our free throws in that time, we made them at Northwestern at the end of the game. If we can make our free throws, we're in a better situation. But that was a grinder. That was a Big Ten grinder. And we were able to get the necessary stops. And, Kendall Stevens misses that second free throw. We're probably not stopping him in transition. He makes it. We're able to stop them, and then get up to him. And I think that really created a longer and more difficult shot. But if you let that rebound go, and then he gets it on the run, oh man, especially only being down 1. That's why people don't foul the way you do. But I just thought that we got lucky that he missed that last shot, so that's the reason I fouled with him. I knew how good he was. But our guys have been able to make plays, and to make them at the end, especially at the end of the Iowa game, and at the end of this game, Indiana, we were able to win by 16, 17 points, I'm not sure. And then Northwestern, we had it around 10. But to get into these games like Iowa and Ohio State and be able to get these wins is huge for our confidence. The defensive end is where we've made strides. We have to get better offensively if we expect to win, especially on the road.
What did you feel like they did so effectively to take AJ away? And I guess kind of 2-part question. What was he doing then defensively, getting the blocks, and I thought his rebounds sparked that?
It wasn't his fault. it was Sam Thompson, Shannon Scott, and their defensive pressure. We couldn't pass and catch at times because those guys were getting into. You got to be able to back cut. You got to be able to move, and then you got to drive them. A lot of the drives we just finally said at a timeout, just stop doing what we've talked about offensively. Just drive the basketball, and that's how we got to the free throw line because we weren't going to be able to pass it around the perimeter. They weren't going to let us because they know that's how we play. We move the ball, we break you down, and when we do that, that's when we get them inside, and it's tough to handle us. So they were smart, and they really got in the passing lanes and made it tough for us. But it also opened up some driving lanes, and we were able to get to the free throw line.
Was it nice to see Dakota be able to make some shots tonight?
Yeah, he started off the second half, and he hit that one in transition, and then they overhelped right in front of the bench again, and didn't have to. And then they tried to jump the basketball, and they just left him, and he was able to stick that one. So it was good for him to knock a couple down.
Matt, with them not having Lovey, does that not make you stretch your defense quite so much?
No question. No question that helped us. Russell was obviously the guy we're worried about. The other guys, you know they can go off on you, but if you know the number one thing for Thompson and for Scott is just keeping them in front of him, especially in transition. But when we found out Loving wasn't playing, that he's the other guy we don't leave. And then if Russell has the ball in his hands all the time, with the people out there, you can pack your defense. I think that helped us. There's no doubt about that stretches us out a little bit more. It helps the guys in the post, but it also helps those guys making their back cuts. You know how they dribble and back cut guys. It just opens up a lot of things because that allows balance. When you have two guys like that can shoot the way they can, it really helps everybody on the court.
Matt, there were at least two plays where you guys were up against the shot clock, and Ray just beat them to the rim. Now, I don't know if that was Ray or I don't know if those were moments that are not going to look very good for them to film tomorrow defensively, but just how important were those plays when it's hard to score and you're able to steal a bucket?
They were huge. Ray did a good job. Ray got a couple pull-ups that way that didn't go down for him. I thought were good shots. I thought he had an open three that was a good shot that he missed. But those drives, especially when we're struggling to score like that, were big plays.
Matt, the last play when you put Bryson in on Russell, what was, I guess, what were your instructions? Obviously, don't foul, and what was
right? Just not let him get ahead of steam. Don't let them advance the ball to him. You don't want to deny at that point because when you deny, they'll go to somebody else, they'll cut him diagonally, then he gets on the run, and you're at his mercy. So we want to keep him in front and just make him dribble the basketball as much as he can before he gets to half. And with, I think 4.9 was how much time was. He did a really good job of staying with him, not fouling him, and then making him shoot a difficult shot.